What's up, MetaNerdz? This breakdown's a short one, but it's one of the most iconic vehicles in all of Star Wars. The 74Z speeder bike was one of Aerotech Repulsor Company's longest-running models. Aerotech was a manufacturer that had been around since before 4000 BBY, producing everything from sniper rifles to G0T0 infrastructure planning droids. And one of the most notorious creations was the G0T0 unit, known as the Goto.
I assure you, I am as flesh and blood as you are. I simply find personal meetings distasteful.
The company would often clash with the larger Zerka Corporation, seeing them as stagnated and unethical. You might know them from their most infamous malfeasance on Tatooine. But Aerotech would have its own scandal. Things took a turn for the worse in 3946 BBY, when several Goto droids rebelled against the Galactic Republic. This severely damaged Aerotech's reputation and nearly drove them into bankruptcy. Their next attempt at networked droids, the BRT supercomputer, was another failure. And after that, Aerotech gave up on droid manufacturing entirely and shifted its focus to repulsor lift tech. By the time of the Clone Wars, they were now known as the Aerotech Repulsor Company, and they backed the Republic, supplying vehicles and technology for the war effort. And the Z model is actually the militarized version of the 74Y speeder bike and was first used by the Grand Army, which itself followed the BARC speeder, another Aerotech design for the Republic. Despite that, it got its first real combat test at the First Battle of Geonosis, and over time, it became a go-to vehicle for military and paramilitary groups, mercenaries, and even criminals. But it's best known as the Imperial Army's top choice for reconnaissance and scout troopers, who took full advantage of its speed and agility. It would cost 8,000 credits brand new, but many could go for as low as 1,800, which puts it in blaster territory. And the 74Z, like its civilian predecessor, was built for speed over comfort. Its lightweight, twin-spar frame held a powerful Aerotech VV318 Scorus repulsor lift engine with a pair of small ion turbines for thrust. And with its max speed of 500 km per hour, or 311 miles per hour, it was just a bit slower than the BARC speeder. And a funny thing about all speeders is where is the line between a flying craft and a speeder? Since everything from simple hand carts to move cargo to starfighters, they all rely on repulsor tech to get themselves off the ground, to hover before the engines move them forward. And the 74Z can use its repulsors to go from the normal few feet off the ground to up to 25 meters, which means it could go over a 7-story building. It uses an advanced fly-by-wire system to control its front steering vanes, while a mid-mounted maneuver control unit kept it stable. The pilot sat toward the rear over the engine, using handlebars and foot pegs to control yaw and pitch, and the instrument panel was bare bones, with only essential readouts like heat, boost, coolant, and turbine pressure. Under Imperial service, it was armed with a forward-mounted AX-20 blaster cannon, onboard comlinks, basic optical sensors, and a short-range comm jammer, and even a small cargo spot here. These bikes could be launched straight from LAATI gunships with a total of 4 on board. And on Seleucami, Jedi Master Stras Ali was tragically killed by her own troops while she was riding one. And even the CIS would use them in battle, either having them before the war broke out or using ones that they captured from the Republic. During the Galactic Civil War, both the Galactic Empire and the Rebel Alliance used them, though they were only officially ever supplied to Imperial forces. Of course, one of the most famous encounters happened on Endor, when Imperial scout troopers got into a high-speed chase with Luke and Leia after they hijacked some, and it would also play a larger role in the battle that followed. Years later, in 9 ABY, these were still in use, surviving both the Republic and the Empire, and Grand Admiral Thrawn deployed them on Merkur, while gathering supplies for his campaign. Around 9 ABY, Scout Troopers AP 1982 and JS 1975 from Moff Gideon's Imperial Remnant rode 2 white speeder bikes on Navarro to go and capture Grogu. Though not long after IG-11, the assassin droid took one of the bikes for himself, using it to protect Grogu and take on Gideon's forces. And even into the era of the First Order, 30 years after the Battle of Endor, there were still 74Z speeder bikes zipping around, often heavily refurbished or modified and popping up on the black market. Please hit that like button, it's the best way to help me out. Subscribe so you don't miss anything, and check out these other videos, I'm sure you'll like them. But most important of all, remember, there's no better combo than an LAAT full of 74Zs. And the Force will be with you, always.